The story begins with 19-year-old JR, who's being sent to prison for a minor crime. JR's cellmate was a timid, frightened young man. In prison, JR's head was shaved. The jail was filled with dangerous criminals. JR noticed some of these same criminals forcefully dragging his cellmate away with them. JR's attention then fell on an inmate named Brandon, who was playing chess. JR told him, "This move will make you lose." Brandon replied, "Show me how." So JR checkmate him in just 3 moves. JR said to Brandon, "I have read about you." But Brandon told JR to stay quiet, saying, "I am no one." Just then, JR's cellmate came out from behind them. Back in their cell, the cellmate began sharpening a toothbrush into a weapon. JR told him, "That's not gonna help." The truth was, those inmates had been abusing JR's cellmate, and he had reached his breaking point. The next day, when they came for him again, JR deliberately started a fight near his cellmate to draw the guards' attention so his roommate could be saved. But because of this, JR was thrown into a punishment cell. Sometime later, when he was released, Brandon warned him, "Keep your nose out of other people's stuff." Meanwhile, those same vicious inmates were tormenting his cellmate again. And because of this, that night, JR's cellmate slit his own throat. JR immediately called for the guards, but too much blood had been lost. His cellmate couldn't be saved. The inmates who had tormented him approached JR and said, "See you around." So now, JR sharpened a toothbrush for himself, preparing to face them. And that's exactly what happened. Those inmates came after JR. But Brandon stepped in and saved him. His crew sent those criminals running. Brandon explained to JR, "That sharpened toothbrush won't save you from these people. But I can sort this for you. In return, I'm gonna need your help on the outside." The truth was, Brandon was serving 20 years without parole in this prison, and he didn't want to serve that sentence. JR asked, "What if I say no?" Brandon replied, "Those guys are really dangerous. You might need something more than a toothbrush then." He told JR to think it over. JR thought about it all night. But the very next day, those men grabbed him. They dragged him into a room, intending to assault him. But just then, Brandon and his crew arrived to save him. Brandon pulled JR out and took him downstairs. Meanwhile, his crew threw the leader of those vicious inmates off the roof, killing him instantly. 6 months later, JR was released from jail. He went straight to a man named Sam and handed him Brandon's letter. Sam told his nephew Josh to give JR a suitcase. Josh clearly didn't like JR. He showed JR where he'd be staying. It was a luxurious beachside apartment. JR opened the suitcase and looked inside. It contained Brandon's passports, along with a gun. But just then, a girl named Tasha came in to use the washroom. Seeing Tasha, JR quickly put on his t-shirt. He offered Tasha a beer, but she was there to give him cash and a phone. She told him to wait for the phone to ring. So sometime later, following Sam's instructions, JR bought some illegal weapons and learned how to use them. One day, while he was sleeping, that phone rang. He would have to carry out his mission tomorrow. JR boarded a scenic helicopter and flew over the city. Right there, he pulled a gun from his bag and aimed it at the pilots, hijacking the helicopter. Meanwhile, at the jail, Brandon had also slipped a sharp metal piece to one of his crew members. They grabbed a prison guard and told him, "Open the door quickly, or we'll kill him." Brandon and his 2 other crew members took the guard hostage and made it outside. JR arrived with the helicopter to pick them up. He opened fire on the other guards. Brandon also grabbed a gun and started firing. He and his crew boarded the helicopter and escaped from the prison. After the helicopter landed, they tied up the pilot as well. They got into their car and drove off. On the car radio, the news of their escape was already playing. And it was revealed that one of Brandon's crew members was a rapist who had assaulted a 10-year-old girl. Brandon hadn't known about this before, and when he found out, he started beating his crew member, saying, "You shouldn't have lied to us." They left him behind and moved on. Brandon went to meet Sam. Sam told Brandon about a plan to rob a gold supplier. There would be $4.5 million worth of gold in a gold room, which was easily portable and untraceable. Now, Tasha was also present at this place. JR followed her at the party. He approached Tasha and lit her cigarette. Tasha said, "You look better without the jacket." But just then, Josh showed up. He pushed JR into the pool. JR didn't know how to swim and started drowning. Tasha jumped into the pool and pulled him out. Brandon stopped JR from fighting with Josh. JR left the party alone, but Tasha came with a car and picked him up. The two of them went to a restaurant to eat. Tasha made it clear to JR that she wasn't sleeping with Sam. She was only with Sam because Sam thinks it makes him look good. And Tasha was an immigrant who needed Sam to stay in the country. She couldn't just leave Sam and run. The last girl who tried to do that, Sam had her killed. JR was in a similar situation. The last time he went home, his father gave him a scar as a Christmas present. So the next day, Brandon asked JR, "What did you do last night?" He gave JR a clear warning to stay away from Tasha, or else Sam wouldn't let him go. Just focus on your job. They all moved to a different location. Brandon explained his entire plan to JR. He went to meet a racer friend of his. Brandon was going to make him the getaway driver for this heist. Brandon explained the plan to everyone, but Sam said, "My nephew Josh will stay near the gold instead of JR." Josh started taunting JR, saying, "Don't cry," and they got into a fight again. JR went to a club. There, some guys were harassing Tasha. JR scared them off and saved Tasha, but Tasha didn't call his move smart. What if they call the police? Tasha and JR secretly met at a beach, away from Sam. Tasha went into the water. JR took off his clothes, but he was scared because he didn't know how to swim. Tasha still told him to come closer. JR explained, "When I was a kid, my dad gets this stupid idea that the best way to learn swimming is to chuck me overboard." But JR drowned. His heart stopped. Hearing all this, Tasha came close and kissed him. The two of them woke up together in the morning. JR noticed a necklace around Tasha's neck. She called it her good luck charm. Tasha put it on JR. JR said, "We are gonna get the gold, and then you and me are gonna run off together." But Tasha didn't believe it would actually happen. After that, Brandon got angry at JR for showing up late. They all arrived at a mine together. With the help of fake IDs, they got inside. They would reach the gold room through an air vent. Brandon motivated JR, saying, "You can do it," and sent him ahead. Brandon himself turned off the CCTV cameras. JR reached the gold room. He had to stay in that air vent for a few hours, but his flashlight fell down. Brandon asked, "Will they see it?" JR said, "I don't know." Meanwhile, Sam asked Tasha about JR. Tasha told him, "He wants to run away with me with his share of the gold." But Tasha didn't tell Sam that the two of them had slept together. After that, when morning came, Brandon moved forward with his crew. He said they were there to fix a faulty monitor. But as soon as they got inside, they tossed the security guard. They pulled guns from their bags, got ready, and told JR to do his job. JR covered his face and went down. He held a worker at gunpoint and opened the gate for the rest of his crew. Brandon grabbed the manager and supervisor and had them pour all the gold into bricks. But Josh shot a worker, something Brandon had strictly forbidden. Brandon broke his nose. But because of his actions, everyone outside was now on alert. So Brandon loaded all the gold bricks, put on workers' clothes, and blended in with them to get outside so the police wouldn't recognize them. Brandon's team opened fire on the police from the front. They got into their getaway car and fled. But a police bullet hit one of their crew members, Sterlo. Police cars were chasing them. Brandon fired at an oncoming police car. Chris was showing off his driving skills, trying to shake off the police. But now Sterlo didn't have a chance of surviving. He said, "My little girl gets my share." He died. So Chris rammed into the police car, flipped it over, and lost the police. They put their car inside a large truck. They all moved forward in the truck. Sam was waiting for them there. Josh told Sam about his nose. Brandon said, all of this happened because of his mistake. Sam said sorry about Sterlo. He would cut the gold into smaller pieces and give everyone their shares by tonight. So Brandon and JR went and burned Sterlo's body along with their vehicle. At the same time, while Tasha was packing her bag, a man came to her. He told Tasha to make coffee, and while she was gone, he looked at her packed bag. This man picked up a belt and said, "You are not going anywhere, my little pet." The man started beating Tasha. He wouldn't even let her escape. He just kept hitting her. Tasha hit him with an iron and ran from there. She texted JR, saying, "Run, Sam set you up." It turned out that the police had already reached Brandon's house. Brandon called Sam, but he said, "I don't know who you are." So Brandon and JR arrived at a gravesite. Brandon dug up some cash he had buried there, which would help them escape to Melbourne. Meanwhile, as Tasha was running away, JR texted her and told her to meet him on a train. Tasha and JR met on this train. Brandon was also traveling forward on this same train. Brandon and JR arrived in Melbourne, paid a man some money, and found out Sam's location, where he would be handing over the gold to the Russian mob. On TV, news about JR and Brandon was playing. Their photos were being shown on the news. Right there, Brandon told Tasha to mail an envelope, and when she refused, Brandon slapped her. Seeing this, JR attacked Brandon, but Brandon was stronger than JR. JR said, "I am done with you." Brandon yelled, "What are you gonna do? Run away with that girl?" He said, "I have seen too many good men do prison time for girls like that." Brandon explained to JR that if he wanted to stay alive, he had to keep fighting, not get caught up with a girl. They needed to disappear as soon as this job was done, and JR couldn't do that with a girl. Brandon gave JR some money and told him to push Tasha away from him. But Tasha overheard this conversation from outside. She ran from there. JR ran after her. He stopped her. Meanwhile, a man put a gun to Brandon's head. This man told him, "Your friend Sam has put a hit on you." At the same time, Tasha started fighting with JR over what she'd heard. JR said, "It's too dangerous for you here. Meet me after I have done this job." Tasha shot back, "Brandon isn't going to give you any money. You are just some kid to him, a mixed-up orphan looking for a father." Meanwhile, Brandon distracted the man who came to kill him, saying, "Whatever money Sam is paying you, I'll give you more." After that, Brandon and JR went to the spot where the gold was going to be handed over. Josh arrived there with the gold. He handed the Russian mob a key. And just then, a man came and crashed a pickup truck into their car. Gunfire broke out between everyone. Brandon came from behind and killed them all. But all they found there was a key. They grabbed Josh, who was still alive, and asked him where the gold was. When Josh didn't answer easily, Brandon threw him into a freezer. A little while later, as soon as he was taken out, Josh, at gunpoint, spilled everything. Brandon and JR got their gold bricks. They changed their appearance and even left the country. Brandon went straight to Sam and shot him dead. He went and hid all the gold under his bed. Brandon then bought a boat from a man. Brandon wasn't letting JR out of his sight for even a moment. He kept his eyes on him the entire time. The two of them set off on their boat. But on the boat, Brandon said, "Sorry kid, this is the end of the line for you." Brandon offered JR $350K for his work, but half the gold was worth $2 million. Brandon said, "What would you do with that much money anyway?" JR replied, "What money?" So Brandon went below deck and checked. In his suitcase that was supposed to have gold bars, there was iron instead. Brandon asked, "Where's the gold?" JR handed him the phone, saying, "Answer it." Tasha said, "If you want to see your half of the gold, do what he says." Tasha and JR had already switched out the gold from Brandon's suitcase a long time ago. Tasha was watching them from a distance. So Brandon grabbed JR and jumped into the water, and JR didn't know how to swim. But Brandon himself pulled him back out. He couldn't let him die if he wanted to get the gold. When JR regained consciousness, Tasha also breathed a sigh of relief. JR told Brandon, "Keep your phone. I'll tell you where to find your half of the money." JR reached the shore and met Tasha. But sometime later, when Brandon was washing his clothes at a laundromat, a woman sitting there recognized him and informed the police. The police arrested him. In jail, Brandon received a letter. This letter contained information about his share and a photo in which Tasha was pregnant. And with that, this story comes to an end right here. Let us know in the comments how you liked this explanation. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.